name is Chloe. I go by the stage name Shen. I'm 29 this year and I'm a singer-songwriter. I started, so back when YouTube started, that was when I started posting up videos. So that was about a good 10 years ago, probably. Yeah, so that's when I started putting up videos online. But when I properly started performing, that was about maybe 5-6 years ago. Yeah.
That's so cool.
I think for me personally, I'm a bit more of an introvert, so I get I get really nervous and I'm super shy about it. So I feel like I haven't really been performing a lot. But I'd like to, at 2024 is the year that I was saying, okay, I'm gonna try and perform a little bit more this year and get myself out there. So it's been a bit, for me, I've been hesitating, but I'm trying to get back out there, so yeah. Yeah, let's go. Actually, it was the first show that I've done in a very, very long time, so I was super nervous about it. But I'm so appreciative of the fact that y'all gave me that chance to do that.
Because a lot of Monashians actually really like your song.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm so glad.
Friends of MNC.
Oh, thanks guys. Thank you so much.
Let's go.
It was a little bit shocking, I'll admit. I think I got the call when I was out at dinner, so outside, and then the guy called me and he was like, hey, is this Shen? And I was like, yeah, and then it was like, oh, you made it to the top 30 for Anugerah Lagu Indie, and I was like, no way. So typically how it works is you submit your songs. So I submitted 3 of my songs and 2 of them made it, which was really, really cool. And I felt very grateful, I think at the end of the day, there's so much music out there, so much local music as well. So I'm just really grateful that the songs that I put out and the songs that I've made were recognized by people, and not just people, but people of the industry. So that was really, really cool. It's a really cool moment for me. Oh,
New York City.
Yeah, that was insane. My face has never been so big. But it was really cool. I think what Spotify was doing was empowering women. So they made it a point to basically highlight the women of the world. And I'm really grateful to be able to represent Malaysia and just be the Spotify ambassador of the month for Equal.
That's insane.
So again, I'm an introvert. So I think I've always kind of struggled connecting with people. I'm a bit of I feel a bit weird and a bit awkward around people. So I think making music is one of the most natural ways that I feel to connect with people. And I think it's working because I feel like people are saying they connect with me through my music, which is really what keeps me going. Yeah.
I know for a fact that you do.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it resonates with a lot of youngsters actually out there.
Guys, making me feel so young. I think at the end of the day, I don't know what it is, but for me personally, and I'm sure it's not the same for everyone, but for me personally, I think I knew from a very young age that I wanted to do music. And my parents were like, okay, sure. It's basically, it's how you would respond to a kid saying that they want to be a princess when they grow up. And they were like, okay, go for it. But then when push came to shove and I really decided eventually that I wanted to make it my career, they were a little bit hesitant. They were like, are you sure? It's really hard. Maybe take another degree to fall back onto something else. And it's very normal, it's very common, and I totally understand where they're coming from. But after trying, so I did try to maybe kind of venture into different facets of life. I almost went into English literature, almost went into biology, almost went into a lot of other things. But I think music is the one that really made me feel like I was meant to do that. I was meant to do music. And it's hard and it's not always rewarding, but at the end of the day, I think what keeps me going is the fact that this is how I connect with people. Writing music, writing stories, and I feel like that's what I'm here for. Yeah. Well, one of the biggest challenges for me is myself, because I feel like throughout, I've done this for a while now, it feels long, and it feels like I just began, which is weird, but there's always a lot of doubt. I doubt myself a lot, and it always takes a very long time to kind of get over that, because I feel like a lot of the times it's how many, like, what's your numbers like on Spotify, how many people you're reaching, and if it doesn't, I have like high expectations, I guess, of myself, and if it doesn't like fit or it doesn't reach what I intended, sometimes I can feel like it's not worth, like what I'm doing is, it doesn't mean anything, it's not like my music isn't worth listening to and all of that. So that, I feel like, is something that I constantly struggle with. And it comes and goes, like it's always up and down. Sometimes I feel great, you know, my face is on a billboard, and then sometimes it's just like, oh, that's only like this many number of streams, you know. Yeah, so I think the biggest challenge, honestly, is really myself, because I stop myself. I'm like, you know, I don't know if I can do it, and there's a lot of fear there. Yeah. I think for me, I write my songs first. So I get on an instrument, whether it's the piano or the guitar, and I just flesh out a song. And usually it's basically ideas. So I have like notes, you know, the notes app on iPhone. It's full of like shreds of lyrics here and there. And typically lyrics always kind of come first. So I always have an idea of what I want to say first. And then I get down on the piano or guitar, and I really try to flesh it out, chisel it, and turn it into something worthwhile. Yeah, and then we get into the studio, and then it's a whole month's process, and then we release it, and it's a whole month's process. So sometimes the songs that are out are like a year old.
Right.
Yeah.
It means you've recorded it a year ago.
Possibly, or I've written it like a few years ago.
Understand.
Yeah.
So how would you then translate what you've released from a studio recording perspective to a live performance? How do you prepare for that?
Ooh, that's always so fun. It's always so fun because you kind of you fleshed out, basically you birthed something. You've conceived it, right? It's out. And then when you have to play it live, I think you get to play with it all over again, which is always so fun. Like you get to like get creative with it all over again, and it's basically reimagining. And it's always such a fun process with my producers because they're always like on board with the ideas that I want to like try, and they don't always work out, but it's always so fun that we get to go through that process. So yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Do you mean like work, or do you mean like for fun?
It could be anything. Work or fun, anything that you're comfortable sharing.
Well, I teach vocals, so that's something else that I do. So I teach at a university, and I also teach privately. Other than that, I really enjoy cooking.
Oh,
I really like cooking. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from, but I do. Yeah.
What's your best recipe?
Oh, I don't really have one. I kind of like wing it.
Okay.
But I feel like the Asian recipes are harder than the Western recipes most of the time. Yeah. I would say you gotta start somewhere. So just go for it. I think usually the first step is always the hardest, but take that step and everything kind of pans out. Like don't worry about it too much. At the end of the day, it's not really about the big picture. It's kind of, it's not really about the small things like numbers or am I hitting this pool of demographic, or am I doing this, or am I doing that? But it's really just about enjoying making music. Yeah, sometimes we forget that. Music is a few things for me. Music is something that I feel helps me express the way that I feel. It's very cathartic for me. So like if I'm belting out a song because I'm frustrated, or like I'm sad about a breakup, or my dog died, or whatever, you know, it's just something like when you're singing and when you're writing songs, it's releasing something out. Like it's a feeling that you're letting go of, which is so amazing. And secondly, it's also, I feel like a way or a vehicle where I connect with people. So it's sort of like it's a way that I build relationships, which means a whole lot to me. Yeah.
Thank you for that analogy. Everybody explains it in a different way, so
Ooh.
that was unique.
Thanks. Can I only say one? Just one, is it? Or can I
Can be anybody.
as many? Great. I'll name two. It's not that many. Well, first of all, it's my husband. So Sek Hao is my husband. He's also the frontman of Resort, as you all might know. So Sek Hao and I, we go way back. I think like we met in high school officially, but we actually went to the same like kindergarten together. Yeah, but I don't think we actually met like in kindergarten. Yeah, but we were at the same kindy. Anyway, we met in high school and we played music together at the time. And then we kind of went our separate ways. And then we furthered our studies in UCSI, which is where we also reconnected, and we made music together there as well. And he's been a really big part of my growth in terms of the way that I write music or the way that I perform, and just how I view music in general. So. And also, of course, he's behind a lot of the songs that you hear. So he does the production for that. So Sek Hao, as well as Sam Tan. So he's also the producer for one of a lot of my music actually. So Sam and I vibe quite well. I think he kind of like we have like the same idea of what we want in the song, and it's so nice to come together and collaborate with him and make something. Yeah.
What do you have to say to the audience of a major music festival? Imagine that it's happening now.
Like it's happening right now.
Happening right now.
Okay guys, have a great night. I hope that you guys have such a fun time tonight, as well as, you know, with all the bazaars and all the music that you're gonna experience. So yeah, have fun.